What's up guys, welcome to my video. So today we're going to be taking a look at some 2v2 ranked arena matches where I am using the Fel Barrage build. And if you guys have been following my channel, you know that last season I pushed all the way into the 2300s with my Havoc Demon Hunter, and it was really awesome because it was the first season that I've actually pushed real rating with my Demon Hunter, that I actually tried to anyway. And I know that I get a lot of questions in the comments about, well, when should I use Fel Barrage, and then when should I use the other build that I use, which is the I-Beam. And pretty much the way I can answer that is Fel Barrage is always going to be your main PvP build because it's really good in pretty much everything, like, you know, battlegrounds and arenas. And the I-Beam build that I use occasionally is only good against comps that are dampeners, like a Affliction Lock Resto Shaman or a Shadow Priest Resto Shaman, you know, things like that. But for the most part, Fel Barrage is always going to be your standard PvP build. But today I wanted to show you a 2v2 ranked arena match where I'm using Fel Barrage, and this is going to be against a Warrior Resto Shaman team. Now it is a new season, so some of these players aren't that great, but still it's really good to practice, and it's really good to basically show, you know, how I use the build in arenas. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alright guys, so this is Resto Druid Demon Hunter versus Arms Warrior Resto Druid, and believe it or not guys, this is actually one of the more annoying matchups for me because I know for a fact that this warrior is going to be on me probably the entire time. And I can see that this warrior is actually pretty good because he is wearing his elite PvP set from last season, so I know he's at least 2k rated. But ultimately my win condition here is I want to get as much uptime on this Resto Druid as possible, and I want to try to see if I can get him out of bear form, and that way I can try to Chaos Nova him into a really good Fel Barrage. But I can already tell that this Druid is he's not dumb, and he knows what I'm trying to do, so he's pretty much in bear form the entire time. So I have to switch my strats a little bit here. I start to cleave a little bit, making sure that I have my bleed effect on the warrior, and also putting bleeds on the Resto Druid. So you can kind of see that this warrior now is switched onto my Resto Druid, and he's actually the Resto Druid that I'm playing with is actually pretty good. He's like 2400 experience, so I know he's not going to get soloed by this warrior, so he's fine. So here this Resto Druid unfortunately gets a clone on me, and I immediately go to stop this warrior a little bit, put him in imprisonment. I know he's going to berserk out of it, but at least that stops him for about, you know, a couple of seconds. And this druid tries to root me, and then I immediately kick it. So here is pretty much the way this 2's match goes, guys. Like once you start to get into decent ratings, like all you're looking for is an opening. You're trying to see if they make any kind of mistakes, the other team that is. And so here's this druid sees an opening, he immediately tries to clone my druid, and then I get a really good kick on him, and then I swap back into him. But so he does get off a clone here, and as you can see, that's one of the reasons why I have to, you know, stay on his druid, because as soon as he starts to clone my druid, this warrior is going to tear me apart. Warriors is one of those classes that I actually do sort of fear because they actually do a lot of damage to me. Like you know, I know a lot of people like to think that Demon Hunters are immortal and whatnot, but actually we're pretty squishy. If we don't have a blur, and if we don't have a trinket, and you get us in a really good stun, we are definitely going to flop over. So this warrior here is putting in some work on my Resto Druid, but like I said, I know he's going to be fine. So now he switches on to me, and what I'm trying to do here is that every time this warrior switches on to me and I am on his druid, I'm trying to cleave him down as hard as I possibly can. So as you can see, the bleed effects are starting to do some pretty decent work, and they're actually starting to do some decent work on us. So it's kind of a typical match. It's kind of what I expect of Warrior Russadry. Like I said, it's a really annoying comp to go up against. So here I get a really good Fel Barrage on this warrior. Druid starts to panic a little bit, and I basically swap over to him to see if I can maybe get him to stop healing the warrior, and that's kind of the way twos matches goes, guys. But here it looks like we're sort of winning the game. He does bash me, but luckily for me, I still have my my trinket. So this warrior switches on to me again, and then, like I said, anytime he does that, I am going to go into cleave mode. And so here I get a really good, I go into meta, and then I Fel Barrage, but for some reason he leaps all the way across the map, and that would actually have been game right there. It would have been over, but I don't know, he bugged my my Fel Barrage, and then he storm bolts me, and here I was gonna get a really good double Chaos Nova and stun them both, and but these guys are in panic mode now. Like, I'm actually doing so much damage, so much more damage than this warrior is to me. So basically I just go ahead and this warrior charges me, so I'm perfectly fine with it because I still have my blur, I still have my darkness, and I'm not in any kind of real danger right now. So I'm just waiting to get a really good Fel Barrage, which I do. Really good Fel Barrage here. He storm bolts me, which is really unfortunate. Like, Stormbolt is such an annoying ability, guys, for a Demon Hunter, because we can't really trinket it because it's too short, and but it's long enough that if we're not careful, it could, they can basically global us in those 3.5 seconds, whatever it lasts. So here I see that I'm a little bit in trouble, so I just basically fly up into the air like Demon Hunters do, and then try to get away from this warrior so he doesn't get too much uptime on me. But I have thorns right here, and I'm gonna get a really good Fel Barrage and a really good Chaos Nova on these guys. And as you can see, we are winning the dampening war right now. We are I'm basically just cleaving these guys down, and as a Demon Hunter, you pretty much have to know when to cleave and also when to do single target damage. And here I'm pretty much alternating between cleaving whenever they're stacking and also doing single target damage with metamorphoses. And this warrior, he would not go down, but eventually I have Fel Barrage, and I think I just got one tick off of that, but I think that was enough to finish him off, and that was basically Fel Barrage in action. Alright, well, that's going to be my video for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it informative. And if you did, make sure you like, subscribe, share. I definitely would appreciate it. Also, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, make sure you leave them in the comments below, and I'll definitely check them out. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.